Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe for me. That way you will always know when I drop a new episode, and it will make it easier for other people to find my channel, to become better reedmakers themselves and happier musicians. I've had conversations with a few people recently as I've been enrolling for my Reed Business Mastermind, a small group experience where Reed business owners can learn from each other and from me with my, decades of Reed business experience. And in the conversations that I've been having, I'm hearing, well, I have a Reed business, but I'm a little scared to grow it because I don't think I'm consistent enough. Or I don't know if my reads have I get discouraged because I don't think my reads have enough consistency. And when I inquire further, I nearly always find that the issue is not that finished reads aren't coming out. It's that the finished reads don't all look exactly like each other. That sometimes, after a day one scrape or after winding, the reeds seem way too open or way too closed, and it's not really easy to determine what is causing that consistency issue. Or sometimes my reeds leak when I wind them up. And these are all real things, right? They are all things that are worth troubleshooting. If your reeds are consistently leaking when you wind them on, let's look at that winding process. Let's see if winding just a little bit shorter or using a slightly different shape or a different staple would help that. Because although you can make a reed work that happens to be leaking around the thread a little bit, you can't really sell a reed that is leaking around the thread. So that is an element of consistency that is worth solving. The idea that as you're winding, as you're day one scraping your reeds, some of them are wildly more open or more closed than others, is probably a consistency issue with cane, and being a little bit more thoughtful about how you sort your gouged pieces of cane, what diameter you're choosing to make an optimal reed for you. Those are legit things that need to be dealt with. But I'm not convinced that that is all of what I am hearing. I think in a lot of cases, people think that because they have to do different things to every reed in the finishing process, that means they're not consistent. And here is my argument against that. Every reed is going to be a little bit different. The reed comes from a plant that grows without actual adult supervision, a plant that grows and maybe this patch of where it's growing is a little less wet or a little more hilly or a little more windy than the place where this one over here is growing. Even if those pieces of cane are coming from the same grower, they are different organisms. They're always going to have variations and be a little bit variable. Some of them are denser than others. Some of them are harder than others. Some of them are flimsier than others. Some of them have wormholes in them. Every piece of cane is going to be a little tiny bit different on a microscopic level or on a diameter level. There's no real consistency in pieces of cane, even two pieces of cane from the same batch that look alike. Second, you yourself are a human being. And whatever you are doing to the reed as you wind it up, you're splitting it, guillotining it, gouging it, pre-gouging it, gouging it, shaping it, winding it, giving it a rough scrape. Those are all things that you are doing, sure, with machines, but you're doing them yourself. And surely you do not have the arrogance to claim that you are perfect and that you are perfectly doing the same thing every single time to every reed. We are human beings and we are variable from hour to hour, from day to day, from minute to minute sometimes. So it is not that shocking that 5 blanks that you make one right after the other still will have variations between them. The magic that you bring as an experienced Reedmaker is that you can turn all of those day one reads with their myriad different problems. Some of them may be scraped asymmetrically. Some of them you might not be quite hitting the measurements that you wanted to hit. Some of them might be too open. Some of them might be too close. Some of them might feel flimsy, as the cane itself might be flimsy or might be very, very springy. You do your best to use your machines well and to bring your mindfulness to your process so that they're as consistent as possible, but it is no shock if those 5 reads that came off your day one are all a little bit different. But if you can turn them all into reads that actually play for an actual human person, even if not every one of them is your favorite, because, hello listener, how many of the reads in your case right now are your favorite? I'm going to guess that number that you have named is not 100% of the reads in your case. Some of them are there because the weather may change and they may get better again. Some of them are there because you might need a flimsier reed, a lighter reed for a quintet situation or for a second oboe situation. Some of them are there because you're breaking them in and they're not quite ready yet. And we do this on purpose. We oboists. I want to have a variety of things in my case when I leave home to go to a gig, because I don't know until I get there exactly what the environmental conditions are going to be, exactly what the pitch center of the group is going to be, exactly what kind of acoustic environment I'm in and how much I'm going to have to push to project. I don't know until I get there. So I want to have some variability in my read case. I want everything to be balanced. I want everything to be finished, whatever that means. I want everything to be playable, but I do not need them to be identical. And the magic that you bring as an experienced Reedmaker is that you can take those diverse day one reads, those wildly variable appearing blanks, and you can turn them all into reads that play, that have, that meet spec in whatever that way that means to you. Do they crow a C? Are they at a certain measurement more or less in terms of overall length? Do they easily articulate low Cs? Whatever your objective tests are, if you can get 80 or 90% of your raw materials to that point, maybe it doesn't matter that much what exists for you at the cane processing stage and at the blank winding stage, if you can finish them with consistency, because that's the part that not everybody can do. That's the part that people send their reads to me for. It's not that hard to wind a blank, and it's not that hard to rough scrape a reed. It is hard to turn a reed into a reed that you actually like. And if you as a reed maker can do that with relative consistency, you could have a reed business. I hope that this little lecture has been helpful. You can follow me at my website, jennetingle.com. You can, of course, follow these 5-minute Reedmaker episodes here on YouTube. Please do subscribe. If you want to reach me to order reeds or cane, to order a copy of my book, The Happiest Musician, or to email me to be considered for my little Reed Business Mastermind, which is starting this very week, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.